I was raised by my grandparents. And the reason I was raised by my grandparents is because both of my parents actually went to prison. Since my parents lived a specific way, I found myself wanting to be that way. So I committed my first felony when I was 12 years old, which wound me up in TYC. I found out how to be a career criminal, and I chose to run with that lifestyle. I ended up having a son. It did spark something in me. You know, I saw the world in a different light. That still didn't change the fact that I had negative character behaviors, and I never addressed those. And it was January 28, 2011. And in the midst of doing other things, I accidentally shot one of my best friends. I shot him in the right upper chest, and it ended up taking his life. The trajectory of my life changed just like that. Sitting in a seg cell, you know, and I said, you know what, God, please, just help me. I know this is definitely not over, but I need your help. I had to make a decision. I said, either I could choose to go to college and work towards getting my bachelor's degree for my last 3 years. I could stay in this gang life, or I could go to PEP. And I ruled out going to college because I could do college in the world, but I would only get one chance to go through PEP, and this was something that I had wanted all those years. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna go with this. My friend doesn't get to be here. He doesn't get to have a family, he doesn't get to have a house or go to college and all those things that come with life. So I decided to honor his life by how I lived out the rest of mine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Galloway, and I am a certified personal trainer, and I am the proud owner of X-Cons Fitness, where we are transforming lives, and if there's time, we exercise. And simply put, we are a mobile gym solution in the northern Houston areas of Conroe, Spring, and the Woodlands, Texas. Our primary target customer consists of women between the ages of 25 to 40 that are typically stay-at-home mothers or head of their households. And here's a fun fact. This is completely organic, because when I started X-Cons Fitness 2 years ago, the ideal customer profile that I had in mind was young adults that worked out and were sports-oriented. However, I was able to recognize the greater opportunity, pivoted, and positioned X-Cons Fitness for success. This has also allowed me to find my niche within the market and grow as an expert in my line of work. And it has also allowed me to create a profitable business model with an effective marketing strategy, utilizing the combination of door-to-door flyers, social media ads, word of mouth, and hosting complimentary boot camp sessions at public parks in order to create awareness and reinforce the brand character of X-Cons Fitness. Now, what I have also found to be really profitable is that I have partnered up with HOAs in high-income neighborhoods to provide group fitness classes to their residents for a percentage of my total earnings each month. I currently host classes in 2 communities, Artavia and Foster's Ridge. I train people for $20 per group fitness class and $35 for personal training sessions. Now, other existing alternatives to my services are storefront gyms such as Fitness Connection, in-home workouts like Beachbody, and also other group fitness classes such as Camp Gladiator. And we typically compete on pricing, the ability to motivate clients, customer satisfaction, and having a variety of equipment. But what truly sets X-Cons Fitness apart from our competition is that we are completely mobile and we are relational. On average, a person is willing to travel no further than 3 miles to work out at a gym, and X-Cons Fitness literally reduces that to the front of someone's subdivision. And we dedicate special time towards building strong relationships with each and every one of our clients, ensuring that they feel motivated, valued, and empowered in every workout session with X-Cons Fitness. Now, picture this. Every day, I load up my little 4-door sedan with my 13 by 13 foot tent, an assortment of workout equipment, which is pretty heavy, my big old boom box, and my X-Cons fitness banner. It doesn't look too professional, does it? And yet I have managed to generate revenue and obtain clients. And 3 months ago, I went part-time with my job in order to be able to obtain more clients. And in that time, I was able to take my annual session rate from 400 to 1,100. So what's the next step? Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the X-Cons Fitness Mobile Gym. It is a 20-foot enclosed trailer that transforms into the ultimate workout station. And what this means for X-Cons Fitness is 3 key benefits: capacity, variety, and credibility. Capacity, the ability to train more clients simultaneously in each session. Variety, having a wider range of workout equipment readily available, which will also allow me to increase the price of my services. And credibility, because this 20-foot enclosed trailer matches the standard of the high-income neighborhoods that I so serve. Now, what's the game plan? How do we make this thing work? Well, the objective is to go full-time with X-Cons Fitness with my mobile gym, which will allow me to, again, increase that annual session rate from 1,100 to 2,000. And in tandem, I will increase the price of my average sessions from 30 to 35. But in order to make this dream of the X-Cons Fitness mobile gym a reality, I need your help. Therefore, I am asking for a $41,000 loan to be paid over 4 years with a 3-month grace period to allow me to rev up and promote the X-Cons Fitness mobile gym. And I will be bringing 10% of my own money to provide skin in the game. And I'll leave you with this. The greatest concern that I get about my company is, why in the world would you name it X-Cons? You're never going to be successful. Nobody's ever going to hire you as a trainer, okay? Well, my TikTok account, with over 62,000 followers, over 500,000 likes, and over 7 million views, all about prison workouts, and under the name X-Cons Fitness, would beg to differ. Thank you.
All right, next up, I'm pleased to introduce to you an amazing transformation story. A little bit of background on Juan Vasquez.
Run the streets with my friends, and I thought I was a big guy with them, and I really found some unity with the friends that I had. And because we lived in a certain neighborhood in the east side of Houston, that was our neighborhood. We represented that neighborhood. Walking home one day with a friend of mine, we were accosted by who we thought were the opposite gang members, and I eventually I shot at them and I hit one of the guys. I went to prison for that. I was sentenced at 17 years old. I was sentenced to 12 years in prison. And I finished my sentence and I got out of prison. I decided to try to do things the right way. I found a job. It was one of the first jobs I found. They decided to run background checks on all the employees. I was embarrassed to explain to them why I hadn't put all the stuff. I had actually gone to prison for attempted murder. I wasn't gonna put that on an application for a job. I was fired from that job. Got involved in a lot of dark stuff like drugs and selling drugs and even doing the drugs. And it eventually led to me going to prison again. I had 1.5 years, or maybe less than 1.5 years to get out of prison, and the prison entrepreneurship asked me to fill out a document with a bunch of questions. Well, one of the questions I remember the most is, what do you want to do when you get out, you know? And it's such a hard question to answer because, I mean, there's so many things that I wanted to do, but like how to get there was the thing. And PEP promised that they would help me get to where I wanted to get to. Monty Pendleton said this, and I never forgot him saying it. He said he was in the 4 o'clock club, and I never knew what that was. And I asked him, he said that he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and between 4 to 6 a.m., he's all by himself, no interruptions, no cell phone calls that early in the morning. It's just him taking care of business, getting his mind together every morning before he steps out into the world. That stuck to me so strongly that ever since I have gotten out, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I went 12 and then 2. I wasted 14 years in prison. I don't have very much time left. I'm 47 years old. I believe that if I live to be 87, then that only gives me another 40 years to live. And I want to make the best out of those 40 years. Thank you for being here. My name is Juan Vasquez, and like you heard from the video, I was raised up in the southeast side of Houston in a neighborhood where if you don't live there, you probably shouldn't be there. And that's how we felt in the neighborhood. I had a lot of big dreams when I was growing up and no actual way to accomplish those dreams. But I saw people in the neighborhood that I looked up to and I wanted to be like. They were gang members and drug dealers. They had it all, and I wanted some of that. So I decided to join the gang. And I took to the streets, you know. I took to the streets. I'm sorry, I get a little warm here. So, thank you. So I took to the streets, and unfortunately, the streets took me. Cost me 14 years of my life in the state penitentiary. In 2008, I graduated the prison entrepreneurship program. And I was released from prison with big dreams again. And I hit the streets again. Only this time I had a tangible foundation to make all of my dreams come true. They gave me transitional housing because as a grown man now, after doing all that time, I didn't want to be a burden on my family. So they gave me transitional housing. They gave me a pocket full of bus tokens so I could ride the bus all over Houston and look for a job. They bought me clothes and even underwear. Don't underestimate an extra pair of underwear. Very important. Anyways. So riding around Houston all over the place, I found a job at Tascon Industries, which was the largest cellulose insulation manufacturing company in the southwestern part of the United States. And I used to ride the bus all the way from the south side of Houston to the Northwest Transit Center where the bus service ends and ride a bicycle another 30 minutes just to get to the job. And I did this over and over and over. And guess what? I used to sing on my bike. I'm a karaoke country singer, by the way. So I used to sing on my bike. I was just a happy man. I was free. I was living my life. But I poured myself into my job. I learned how to install the material they make as a laborer installer in the beginning. Eventually, they made me a crew leader, which was fun. And then they promoted me to manager of the entire company, where they taught me Excel spreadsheets. They taught me QuickBooks. Yeah, profit and loss statements, accounts receivables and payables. The boss would come and ask for a sheet every morning. He wants to know what we got coming in. Wonderful. But the thing that I learned the most from QuickBooks was that the manager wasn't making any money. Yeah. Right. The guys that were making all the money were the contract salesmen and commissions. Yeah, so what I decided to do was train somebody to do my job so that I could become a contractor salesman as well. I got big dreams. I created a network of custom home builders, remodelers, sheetrockers, because they go hand in hand with insulation, metal building builders. I have a big one in Brazoria. Air conditioning technicians that tell their customers that they need to upgrade their insulation or their air conditioner is not going to work properly. It's true, common sense. and restoration companies. Lord knows we've had to use a lot of those in Houston these past few years. Right? But I got big dreams, and I remembered in my cells that when I was in the prison entrepreneurship program, a guest volunteer had visited us, particularly my class, in 2008, and it was David Weekley. That's right. So what I did is I decided to write David Weekley a letter. Now, I didn't have his personal contact information, so I just picked a random email off online, and I sent an email that said something like, "Hello, Mr. Weekley. We met in prison. I'd like to discuss some business with you." I mean, it's a match made in heaven. I'm an installation salesman. He's a home builder. I could just imagine the face of the person that had to give him that email. But Mr. Weekley took the time to actually write me back from a random email. And in his email, he explained that the transition from the material that he was using to the one that I was offering logistically was, pretty big and probably something that we couldn't really tackle. And since I have you here in person, I just want to say thank you for actually emailing me back. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. So these past 12 years I've been out have been wonderful. Greatest years of my life, right? 13 years now, right? And my wife Vanessa back there and I own a home. Yeah, that's right. And we're planning on a family now.
We built that home.
The question he asked. Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get good points here. Hold on. So, that's right. So, but the last 4 years as a contractor salesman, guys, have been the best. I've sold $100,000 every month for the past 2.5 years. Right. That's $1.2 million a year. And I got big dreams. So I saved, and I saved, and I saved some more. And now I'm here to present to you Insulate LLC. Insulate LLC is an installation company. We install spray foam insulation, open cell and closed cell, traditional fiberglass, cellulose, rock wool, any insulation you want. We even soundproof. We're insured and bonded. No, there's more here. We're insured and bonded. And as of 2 weeks ago, we opened up shop 2 weeks ago. And I've performed 8 jobs for a total of $30,000 already. Yeah. We milestoned our first payrolls. That was cool, paying the guys. That was awesome. They were happy too. We're doing great, guys, but I'm at 100,000 in sales. I still have all of my customers. They haven't gone anywhere. They're all with me. So what I'm here today to ask for is a $30,000 line of credit just to continue operations, cover payroll, and purchase more materials as my net 30 and my net 45 customers' checks clear the bank. They're in there. Okay. And I anticipate with so much sales that I'm going to have to ask for an additional $80,000 before the year ends to purchase another truck, an additional foam rig, which will run you about $45,000, and other installation equipment so I can further expand my business and put together another crew, because $100,000 on one crew is a lot. Okay? So I appreciate all of y'all for coming here and listening to us. The PEP program has given me everything I needed from the beginning. And my cell phone number is easy to remember. Y'all need to remember. First of all, I'm your #1 insulation man. Okay? And my number has 2 Houston area codes, 281 and 832. You got to say that the last part it has a 9 in it, so you say the 9 like if you're from Texas. 281-832-7948. That's right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, y'all.
Bless his heart, he's so shy. Our third and final contestant for the night is Mr. Hector Cuellar. I want you to hear a little bit about him.
We got to Houston in 1975. Dad bought a home and started working at Houston Post. Dad was always a drinker, and that's what came into our lives early as young men. We were taught to be a man was good to drink, and that's what we did. What we did is we drank with Dad at a young age. And we started going to high school, and we started drinking in high school. We started drinking on the bus, started drinking after school, and before you know it, we're small little alcoholics running around. I joined the Army. Well, of course, we're taught more to be in the Army is to drink, and we drank more. Finally got out of the Army, met my wife, first wife, and we got married. The drinking kept going. I had 4 daughters. Between them 4 daughters, I went to prison 3 times for driving while intoxicated. On my 6th DWI, I was offered a 25-year sentence because my truck hit a state trooper's vehicle, and it was aggravated assault with intent to cause bodily injury. They dropped the aggravated assault charge and ended up giving me a 4-year sentence. Shortly after that, Marcus Hill came and recruited me out of my unit, brought me to the Cleveland unit, and my journey with PEP started then. I did get separated because I got out and I drank. It hurt me a lot to relapse. I got separated. It didn't hurt me at all when PEP really separated me. I felt like they had every reason to. However, I kept with PEP and they kept with me. We never lost kind of communication. So shortly after I got separated from PEP, I met this woman, love of my life, Anita.
I remember in the mornings, Hector, I would be in the bedroom and I could hear a can of beer pop open, and I would be like, what was that? And the moment he would get up in the mornings, he would set himself up to get out and get drunk every day. And it was a terrible, terrible mess all the time. But I continued to believe in him. I always believed in him. I always knew he had it in him.
And that was part of my sobriety, to always stay sober for her. It was an encouragement to stay sober. And that's what we did. I took it one day at a time. Every morning I would say, just for today, I wasn't going to drink. And within me, I did stop, and the good Lord helped me.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, Hector got a call. After working very diligently to get his pitch prepared, he got a call that his mother was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance with a heart issue. He pulled up and he took off to go see his mom in Bastrop. Very worried. Yesterday, Hector had lost his father the month before. So it was super important for him to go over there. So he rushed over to Bastrop. He's there ministering to his mom right now. He wasn't able to come back. He wants to be by her side. He wasn't able to give the pitch tonight that he wanted to because he has recognized something more important. And I want to tell you that that's why we do this too. It's not just about business. It's about being a better man, a better son, a better husband, a better citizen. Hector made the right choice tonight. He's not going to be with us. He's not going to be with us, but we did ask him today to make a quick video of his pitch. And he's done so, but I think you're going to see he's a little bit frazzled. But like I said, he's making the right choice. Let's show that video.
All right, so what do you see when you go down the road? Electronic signs. Because without them, guys, no one would know where you're at. Hi, my name is Hector Cuellar Jr., proud owner and founder of Allstate Signs, where we service and install electrical signs. We work for the national sign companies. Our customers' clients include Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, Chick-fil-A, CVS Pharmacy, Lazy Boy Furniture, and many others. We're subcontractors for the national sign companies, and we service a 100-mile radius from the greater Houston area. The service we provide for $140 an hour. And last September, I secured the Houston Shell gas station's service contract, where we charge $90 an hour with a 3-hour minimum. This allows us to use one van and one tech, which really grows the bottom line. Okay, so in 2019, we were at $187,000. In 2020, we cleared $197,000. To date, we're at $187,000. And how we got there is I've secured more accounts from the national sign companies. So we have a great relationship with the project managers of these companies. Growing relationship with these project managers is 100% of our business. We are a one-stop shop that provides equipment and expertise with licenses and insurance. So I bring 30 years experience to Allstate Sign Company. We hold the Houston Sign Contractor's License, and we hold the Texas Department of License and Regulation Master License. So currently we have a 50-foot skyhoist and a 20-foot bucket truck, which is a van. And in order to grow my business, we would need something higher so that we can service more higher signs. So before we even get the truck, we already have work for the truck. So that's why we're asking for $80,000 so that we can purchase a truck with the welding rig on it so we continue this venture. So we're requesting a 4-year loan with a 3-year grace period for the $80,000.
I'm so proud of Hector and the character that he displayed in being by his mother tonight, but we also have a program, and so one of the things I'd like to do is just highlight the fact that my team has really been working with all 3 of our contestants tonight and all of our men who aspire to be entrepreneurs, and we dive down deep into the business plan with them and help refine them, and that's, you know, that's what we do. We're PEP. We help allow those dreams to come to fruition.
Third place in tonight's pitch competition is All State Signs, Hector Cuellar.
Come on up here, Hector.
You're going to have to do second place in tonight's competition, Ex-Cons Fitness. Come on, Mikey. Okay, in first place, our shy, bashful, quiet wallflower, Juan Vasquez, Insulate LLC.
Thank you, everybody. All right. I mentioned to you that we've got an online presence that was watching and voting, and some of you, I saw you pick up your QR codes and voted. It is amazing to me. We had a landslide victory for our online presence for the People's Champion. And I'll just remind you that our friends at Gringos, thank you, Russell, have provided a party for 20 for the People's Champion winner. So the fiesta is going down in just a little bit. Tonight's People's Champion spoke about character. It was Hector Cuellar, who's at home with his mother. I love that. Because you know what? I think everybody online and you that voted today realize it's always character. It's always character. It's not curriculum. It's character that makes the difference. Our guys get that. And the guys who come up on stage, it's because they've opened up their books, they've opened up their lives, they've opened up their dreams, they have been transparent, and they've had character.